Do you ever feel you're not good enough or you are not worthy of something? It's a struggle for many of us, and it comes down to self esteem. Today, we will discuss what self esteem really is, how it differs from self confidence, and the steps you can take to increase it. Hello, my name is Pooja Nitin Porwal. I'm an IT professional and a career growth coach. First of all, let me clear the common myth or misconception. Self confidence and self esteem are not the same, they are two different things. Let's start with self confidence. Self confidence is about your belief in your abilities or your confidence to perform a specific task to reach a particular goal. For example, being confident in public speaking or playing a particular sport. Whereas self esteem is deeper. It's about how much you value yourself as a person. It's your overall sense of self worth, regardless of your skills or achievements. So, to make it very simple, you can think of it this way: self confidence is doing, while self esteem is being. So, why self esteem is important? So, why is self esteem so crucial? Why it is so important for each and every one of us? Because it affects everything from your relationships to your career to your mental health and happiness. When you have a very healthy self esteem, you are able to set boundaries. People are not able to treat you like a doormat or override you again and again. You feel yourself worthy of pursuing goals, so you actually achieve more in life. And you also treat yourself with kindness that you deserve. So when it's low, there's a lot of self doubt that comes into picture, and there is a lot of negative self talk that we do to ourselves. If you want to identify whether you have a high self esteem or a low self esteem, it's very easy to check. Just see, whenever you are talking about doing something new or achieving something, setting a very worthy goal for yourself, how do you feel inside? What is it that your inner little voice telling you? Whether it is filling you with a lot of doubts or it's giving you assurances, whether there is a lot of negative self talk happening there wherein you are putting yourself down, stating that, oh, you will never be able to do this, you are too short, or you are not tall enough, or you are not educated enough, you don't have the right background, you don't have the money, and all of those doubts and negative self talks coming into picture. So, yes, when we try to do something new, which is a little challenging, a little difficult, we all have a little bit of self doubt. But if self doubt is all that you have without any confidence in your abilities, then you have a very low self esteem. So, if majority of the words that you speak to yourself about yourself are negative, then you have a low self esteem. Whereas if you have a positive self talk, wherein even you when you acknowledge your limitations, you're still able to tell yourself that, okay, we can get through this. I can learn, I can get more skills acquired and achieve this particular goal. Then you have a higher self esteem. You believe in yourself a lot. So, if you're somebody who are into the lower self esteem bracket, don't worry. I have some tips and tricks as part of this video, which I'll share right after this, which will help you to build your self esteem. So, let's start talking about how you can build your self esteem starting today. Tip number one: acknowledge your strengths. First step to building self esteem is recognizing your unique strengths. We all have our own strengths, irrespective of whatever whoever told you. You may not be good at academics, you may not be good at arts, you may not be good at accounting, but there would still be something that you are really, really good at. So take a moment and list your achievements and skills. It can be big or small, the size doesn't really matter. And don't ever believe when somebody tells you that you're worthless or you're useless or there is nothing that you'll be able to achieve in your life, because that's absolutely untrue. So identify your own unique strength. They can be empathy, they can be understanding people, they can be helping when required. So it doesn't have to be something very, very big. It can be some of your daily habits or the certain personality traits that you have which can be your strengths. Always remember, self esteem grows when we focus on what we can do rather than what we can't. So, always focus on the positives and your strengths. Tip number 2, reframe negative thoughts. We all have that inner critic, the little voice inside all of our heads that tells us all the negative things that a person can have. And the key here is to challenge it every time. Instead of saying, I always mess up, try, I'm learning and improving every day. Instead of saying, I don't have the ability to do it, reframing it just by adding a very small one word, which is, I am not good at it yet, changes the entire game. So while you're acknowledging your limitations, you are not restricting yourself by saying that you will never be good at it. When you add that small yet, it opens the opportunity for you to improve on whatever it is in the coming time. Reframing negative thoughts into constructive ones can shift your mindset and help you see yourself in a better light. What you can also do is practicing self compassion. Be as kind to yourself as you would be to your best friend or your child. When you make mistakes, remind yourself, I am human and it's okay. Tip number 3, set realistic goals. Okay. I am actually all for setting really big, audacious goals. However, I'm somebody who have a very high self-esteem as well. If you're somebody who is coming from a space where you have low self-esteem, then start with setting small achievable goals that aligns with your values. And every time you accomplish a goal, your confidence is going to grow and your self-esteem is going to boost because of it. You also have to always remember, it's never about perfection. It's always about progress. Perfection is a myth. You never reach or you never arrive. All that you do is move from one point to another and then further. So always remember, progress is what is important and focus on that rather than focusing on perfection. Tip number 4, surround yourself with positivity. This is very important from your mental health perspective also. So, quick check, are people around you uplifting you or pulling you down? Are you dealing with people who fill you with energy or you're dealing with energy vampires? So surround yourself with those who support and believe in you. Positive environment fuels positive self-esteem. So it's important that you have at least two, three, four people in your life who can be the beacon of light and help you surround yourself with positivity and sunshine even when dark clouds are around you. Tip number 5, take care of your well-being. Self-esteem is very closely related to how we treat ourselves. And I have seen a lot of people, especially women, who have a whole lot of responsibilities, family, children, job, and that kind of stresses them out. And if you're somebody who basically glorify the act of sacrificing yourself to keep everybody happy, then you are usually bound to have a low self-esteem because you're not prioritizing yourself in any way. So you need to prioritize your mental and physical health. You need to prioritize yourself. Do things that makes you happy. It can be a very small thing like having a cup of tea in quiet and peace. It may take only 5 to 10 minutes from your very busy schedule, but when you spend that time with yourself, you fill up yourself with positivity and peace, and that would reflect in how you go about your day. So remember, healthy body and mind creates a strong foundation of self-worth. So take care of your well-being, prioritize yourself. It doesn't have to be in a way wherein you just disregard everything else and not giving attention to all of your other priorities. So do prioritize yourself. It doesn't have to be to the extent wherein you don't put attention to all of the other priorities in your life, but find some time for yourself. It will help with your self-worth and your self-esteem. Tip number 6, learn to say no. Every time you say no to something, you're actually saying yes to yourself or yes to something different, something more, something for your own self. Setting boundaries is an act of self respect and it builds your self esteem. So whenever you say no, it doesn't necessarily have to be in a rude way or in a way that would hurt the other person. But you can always tell them no in a very nice, positive way, wherein you just highlight that whatever they are asking of you isn't something that you can prioritize right now, or it's not something that you can do right away because of XYZ things. Now, again, I'm not saying give excuses when you really don't want to do it. If you don't want to do it, say very nicely that it's not something that you would be doing, or it doesn't align with whatever you're going through right now. You can always say no in a very nice way and still keep those doors open for the person to reach out to you in future for something that you may be willing to do for them. Tip number 7, celebrate your progress. When we progress, when we have these micro macro wins, no matter how small or big it is, each step forward is a proof that you are growing and you're worthy. So do celebrate. If you have tried majority of this but are still not in a position where you have a medium to high self esteem, then maybe it's time for you to seek professional help. Sometimes a therapy can help you to heal deeper wounds or trauma that you have had gone through, to build a stronger foundation of self esteem, to build a stronger you. Building self esteem is a lifelong journey, but it starts with small steps. Which of these steps are you going to try today? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends and family who need that confidence boost. Remember, you're worthy, you're capable, and you are enough, just as you are.